All right. So we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see where I am. Hey, y'all, what's going on? Listen, I am super, super excited. I wanted to jump on today. I just came from a meeting. We're in the final planning stages for the Entrepreneur 101, transforming your passion into profit. And I just left a powerful meeting with Pastor Powell. And as we're in the final steps of preparing for Saturday, and we got a surprise. Oh my goodness, we got a surprise. Uh, Someone is going to be in with the at the workshop. I ain't gonna tell you yet. But listen, you wanna be at the Entrepreneur 101 workshop. Is this Saturday, February 3rd, 9 to 3, and it is going to be worth every penny of your hour of your time.
Right.
It's going to be awesome, and it's $25. You get a workbook and lunch is included, and you know based on what we talked about today, as far as what's going to be a part of the workshop, $25. We're gonna say that's just for your lunch in your workbook. That ain't even for the workshop, because what you're gonna receive at the workshop. I've been to places where I've spent $1,500 for a class, and I know that sounds like that's crazy, but a lot of times the difference between our ability to be successful is information. And I paid $1,500 for a class, and I believe that the workshop that we're doing is worth that. Amen. And
Amen.
so I want to invite you all to be a part of our Entrepreneur 101 workshop this Saturday, February 3rd, 9 to 3. And it's going to be here at Jericho 8086 North 76th Street. And you don't want to miss it. So listen, with that being said, I got Minister Sharon D. Brunfield on with me today, a business owner in our city. How you doing, Minister Brunfield?
I am amazing, Pastor. Thank you for having me on today.
Now I don't even know how to introduce you, because you are a woman of God of many talents, and you have done many things over the years that I've known you, and you do everything. It seemed like you just born to do with the things that you do. So which business will we say that you are focusing on right now as your main business?
That would be Clear Thinking Counseling Services.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Clear Thinking Counseling Services.
Well, like you said, I had multiple different businesses, but what I found, Pastor, was I was actually doing the clear thinking stuff throughout those other businesses.
Okay.
So even when I was doing Designs by Sharon, I was so focused on the models and making sure they were good. They would say things like, they would just be so desperate to be in a fashion show. And I'm sitting there saying, no, you're worth more than that. You don't have to beg people to be a part of this. You need to come in confident. You need to come in with boldness. You need to come in like this. So I was trying to do all of those at one time, but then I just decided, let's go with this, and I'll be able to reach more women, more people, focusing on their mental health. Okay. So with Clear Thinking Counseling Services, we focus on really transforming the mind, thinking about what are your barriers. You don't have to look at barriers as the end all. You don't have to look at that wall as that's it for me, and now I have to turn back because I can't go forward. You can go over it, you can go around it, you can tear it down. There's so many different things you can do with the barrier. So helping people to understand that the barrier doesn't mean the end. Okay. Thinking about what our belief systems are. We have some beliefs that we don't even need anymore. There's some things that we think about that we believe in that's old or is outdated or is not doing us any good. So looking at what we believe, and then when we change what we believe, then our behaviors will change. So that's clear thinking in a nutshell.
All right, all right. Now that's very interesting. Many of the things that you said, we talked about today. You know, when I was talking about Pastor Powell, Pastor Powell is a very powerful speaker. He's also a very powerful businessman in our city, and you know, I've always admired him. I've known him for several years, and he's done uh, some different things for me before at Kingdom Growth Conference, and one of the things that he said today that really kind of blew me away, that because a person have $1 million, that don't make them a millionaire.
Wow.
I'll let that marinate for a minute. He
Okay.
said, it's the mindset that makes you a millionaire. If you give a person $1 million and they have a $10,000 mind, then it won't take them very long before they take the $1 million and they'll be back down. They'll be down to $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
And so he talked about being a millionaire is a mindset. And he also talked about being an entrepreneur is also a mindset, you know. And so when you talked about, you know, dealing with the models and the different things that you deal with women, and you know the ministries that you're doing, or the business that you have, you talked a lot about mindset and belief systems and behavior, and that's really a lot of things that has to do with being an entrepreneur. And many people are not successful because of those limited belief systems in their behavior. You know, I've learned lately that your behavior is what defines your belief. You know, and so it's not what you say that you believe, is the behavior that follows it that says what you believe. And I think when it comes to entrepreneur, people want to be a business owner. I think sometimes people might want to be a business owner just for the title of being a business owner, but their behavior is not like a business owner.
Exactly. Because if you're not putting in the work, you're not doing it looks like it's fancy and it's all that, but it's a lot of work to be an entrepreneur or to be a business owner. And I've just recently found and discovered the difference from Financial Fridays, that there is a difference between the two. And so when people have that desire, they're looking at, oh, you can make your own schedule. Oh, you can have this flexibility. They're not really looking at the work that needs to go into, you know, the mind shift that needs to take place, because there will be disappointments. There may be consistent days of disappointment, but you got to keep going. You know, you can't look at those disappointments and then now you're distraught. No, you just got to pick yourself back up. You know, you might give yourself 20 minutes to think about that disappointment, but after that, you got to get back up and get going.
And that's why training is so important, because a lot of times we have a passion for a certain thing, but we want it to be a business, but it's really just a hobby, you know. And a lot of times we're doing a lot of work, you know, trying to make something happen. But, you know, oftentimes we're driven by passion. And a lot of times I learned today in my meeting with Pastor Powell that a lot of times when it's all about passion is feelings. And a lot of times you're running your business by feelings, and that's why you can't get to a place of profit, you know. And so being able to understand that, you know, training is important. Training is important. You can have a skeleton, you can have an idea where you want to go, but you need some more pieces. You need structure. You need a foundation that you're building on. And you know, I've learned over the years, you know, because I like watching construction. You know, I would oftentimes, you know, I would pull up somewhere. If I'm on lunch or something, I'll get my lunch and I'll go pull up by a construction site, and I will park and I will watch the construction while I eat my lunch. And I'm always fascinated by, you know, how long it takes to build a foundation. You know, it seems
Okay.
like they're working on a foundation for months or years almost. And then all of a sudden, once the foundation is in, the building goes up overnight, it seems like.
Right.
And I think a
Mhm.
lot of times we're trying, as an entrepreneur, you're trying to build a business up overnight without having that foundation. And
Yeah.
foundation sometimes take a longer because there's things that you have to learn, but there's other
Mhm.
things that you have to unlearn. And
Right.
that's why training is so important. And so this entrepreneur 101 workshop is going to be about how you take your passion and turn that into profit. But
Mhm.
it's not going to be a feel good type of thing. It's not going to be a pep rally to pump you up and say you can do it, go forward. No, you're going to have to think about some things, just like you mentioned with your counseling and how you deal with people. There are some things that you shouldn't be doing anymore because they're not profitable or they're not valuable right now. You understand what
Mhm.
I mean? And a lot of
Yeah.
times we're doing things on automatic pilot and we're getting the same results and we're frustrated because we want different results, but nobody can tell you what to do.
There you go. I was about to just jump in and say, having other people around you
Mhm.
that can give you the wisdom and then you do it, or even collaboration,
Yes.
connecting with somebody else. You might not have all the pieces, but they got five of the pieces. So coming together to make something happen works also.
So tell me, as far as how you went from, because you said you were in um, fashion design and things of that sort. Was that what you were doing before you went to clear thinking, before you went to counseling?
Yes.
So
So I
so
was,
so when you decided you were in counsel, you was in fashion, and you decided that that was something that you were doing, and that would be a segue to begin to do that. Did you just leave there and just start open up, put a hang a sign out on the door, and just start counseling, or did you have to get training, or was there a process from just going from that to what you're doing now?
yeah, there was a process. I put it out there to a couple people just to kind of see. I was thinking maybe I can do duo. I can, have this fashion design and I can be this counselor at the same time. And I tried that for a little bit and it just wasn't working. So then I went to get some classes. For one thing, you invited me to take some classes for ministry. But once I got in there, I was like, oh, this is me. I absolutely love this. So then I kept going until I finished. And
Okay,
then the counseling services came from there.
okay. And so when you kept going, you took that, and then you got certified and got all your paperwork and things
Got
that you
my
need
paperwork.
to
Yep.
qualify you to be that person that you are.
Yep. Yep. Got a license and life coach certification. And so, yeah, I had to go through a process of training, some exams, some tests, some papers, and all of that stuff. Even though it was already in me, I didn't have the certifications. And
Sure,
I
sure.
still take certifications. I'm
Mhm.
still getting certified in different areas. As soon as I see an email from, the health department of different things that they're doing in mental health, I'll go ahead and take that 2-week course or that 5-hour course to get different certifications in, substance abuse and, being able to identify people in crisis and help them get to the help that they need. So yeah, it's a constant.
And so you would say that you are a firm believer of investing in yourself when it comes to training
Yes,
and things of that sort.
exactly. Yeah, because even though we may have a natural gift or talent, you
Mhm.
still need to have some training behind that. You should always be a lifelong learner, and I've learned that from you. You
Okay.
always get more information. You always look for, what else do I need? How else can I help people? If I don't stay current and stay relevant, I won't be able to help people where
All
they
right.
are.
All right. And so that's why we want to do this entrepreneur one-on-one workshop. I just saw Lady B chime in. How you doing, Lady B, my love? That's my wonderful wife. And I saw also Naya from Florida chime in. How's the weather there in Florida? You need to, well, I guess we're doing pretty good. We can always use some more heat though.
Yeah.
But listen, I have several reasons why I believe a person should take the time, even if you have to adjust your schedule to be at this Entrepreneur 101 workshop this Saturday, February 3rd, 9 to 3 at Jericho Church Without Walls, 8086 North 76th Street. And one of them that I have written down is training provides a better understanding of skills required to perform. What is your thoughts about that?
We've got to be trained, and I think that this workshop is important because when people are starting off as an entrepreneur, we think that we know what to do. We're excited. We're gung-ho for our vision is what we believe God called us to do. But without getting that wisdom from somebody that's been in it for a while, they can help you over those hurdles. They can help you avoid some pitfalls, and so coming out to the workshop is just a benefit for us. It's going to give us some more foundation. It's going to help us. And then not only that, you get this workbook. So you got a plan right here that you can go back to when you have some questions. Maybe when you were part of the workshop, you didn't know you were going to need that information. But once you got started, you're like, oh yeah, he said that in the workshop. So I can go back to this book and I can get that information, and now I can move forward. When we don't have the information, we get stuck and we get stagnant and we think we're moving, but we're really not moving.
Yeah. And I believe that to be true. I've learned that as a pastor, that training is important, because just having enough, to get started is not enough to get where you're trying to go. And
Right.
a lot of times people, they start, but they don't have what it takes to finish. And so you could be doing a lot of the things, but you could be doing a lot of the wrong things. You could be doing a lot of the right things, but it could be a couple things that you need to be doing that you're not doing. And
Right.
so training is important. Lady B says she's going to be there. All right. Now I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but I guess I am putting you on the spot. Are you going to be there?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be there. And actually my husband Dan is going to be there as well,
Okay.
because we both need to hear the information. We're
Yeah.
trying to move something forward, and it's not okay if he only hears the information and I don't, or I
Yeah.
only hear the information and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Now we can hear it together so we
Yeah.
can move forward.
Oh yeah. That's powerful right there, because that's important. I think, unity is definitely important, because that's where God commands a blessing. And so as a partnership, marriage is a partnership, and we see the covenant part of it, but we don't always see the legal part of it,
Right.
and the legal part of being marriage is a partnership, and so for both of you all to be there, that's going to be awesome. And especially, as you take the information and you apply it. And so I got another question here, not a question, but a reason, because we're talking about the importance of training, and training also provides a better understanding of what's required to be successful. And so when you talk about, learning what's required to be successful, what are your thoughts when you hear that?
If I don't know what's required, then I can have some unrealistic expectations of what's going to take place on this journey. But if I have someone that's standing before me and saying, it's going to take this, it's going to take this, when this happens, it's going to take for you to dig down and do this, or you're going to have to link up with people. You're going to have a financial advisor. You're going to have an accountant. You're going to people don't know all that stuff in the beginning. They just think I'm going to start this business and boom. No, taxes and all that stuff. So when somebody stands before us and lays out the plan, and so now I already know it's not going to come out of nowhere when I get this tax bill. It's not going to come out of nowhere when this happens, or I need to do this repair, or I need to get this certification, or I got to pay for this class. they already told me, expect these things to happen, so prepare in advance.
Yeah, yeah, and that's good. That's good. And Pastor Powell is definitely the guy for that. I don't know if you ever heard his story or not, but you know, he had he had 9 siblings. I think he was like in the middle, and he had this burden for his family. And I don't want to steal his thunder, and I know I can't steal his thunder because he's got a wealth of information and experience. But he talks about how his journey. He just didn't walk in there and start as a franchise. You know, he worked his way through many different challenges that all of us have, but a lot of times when we don't collaborate, we think that we're the only one.
Yeah.
And to hear a person tell you that, it's gonna come to this place. I was trying to learn how to barbecue, and my mother, she loves brisket, and so for whatever reason, I decided that I was going to make a brisket, to die for. I guess that's not really the right terminology for belief to live for, But I was gonna make this the best brisket she ever had. Now, you know my mother, but some people don't know my mother. She is like, the cooks of cooks,
Right.
So, I wasn't trying to show her up, but I just wanted to make her this great brisket. And so I got this this brisket, and I was put it on the grill. And what I didn't know is when you start cooking it, it'll get close. The temperature, internal temperature, will rise up like it's almost about to be done, but then it'll stop. They call it a stall, and then it will stop, and it won't move nowhere for like an hour before it shoots back up to be done.
Okay.
And I didn't know that, so I was struggling because it was on there a long time. And I thought it was going to burn up, but the internal temperature would never move. So I would take it off, then I put it in the oven. I end up drying it out, and I think I might have messed up 2 or 3 briskets trying to figure that out. But the point is this: afterwards, I looked at some this barbecue channel, and they started talking about these fundamentals of barbecue and a shoulder and a brisket, and I learned that it's a place that they get that you have to be patient, and then it'll get to where you want it to be. But the point I'm making, had not I got that information, I wouldn't have known that is a natural thing for it to stall out. And oftentimes in business, in building a business, you get to a hard place. And if you don't know no different, that's a place where you'll tend to give in, give up, and give out, not knowing that you are really close. You just have to be patient in that moment, and then it takes off.
Exactly.
So a lot of people walk away from businesses because of that lack of information.
Yeah. And I learned that from you actually in building our church, just seeing you keep going in that process. I didn't get it at first, but this time I got it. So when it gets tough, I just keep on going. I go a little harder. Yes. I do something else. I add something else on to it to say, oh, we're going to add this on. I'm going to make this even better. Yeah. So you were a great example of that. When it gets tough, you just keep going. You don't give in, give up, or give out.
All right. Don't send me no invoice now. But that leads me to the third thing, which is training builds confidence.
Yes.
And so the person you are as a result of what you went through and your experiences, especially when you learn from them, because there is a saying that say, when you know better, you do better, but that's not necessarily true.
No.
You can know better and still do the same thing.
Yeah.
But when you know better, you can do better, providing you apply what you know better. In other words, it's like wisdom. Wisdom is applied knowledge. So because you know something don't make you wise. It's only when you apply what you know that makes you wise. And so you got
Exactly.
two components there. If you don't have the training, then you don't know. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't walk in wisdom because you have no knowledge to apply. But then you can go to a workshop like this and get all of the knowledge. But if you don't apply it, you're still not walking in wisdom. And so, based on what you're saying and your experience and the things that you saw, when things get tough, because you had example or you had knowledge of you get to these places and how you get past them, you were able to apply what you've learned and able to
Mm-hmm.
keep on going. So, would you
Right.
say that that has helped you to build confidence?
Exactly. Yeah, because I don't look at, like I said in the beginning, I don't look at barriers the same. It's not an end. It's a, how do I go around this? How do I figure it out? What wisdom am I lacking? Who do I need to get this from? Who do I need to connect to? So I'm asking more questions of myself instead of just saying, oh man, I think it's done now. It's over. No, it's never over. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
What's my next step?
And you know what that's doing is building your capacity
Hmm.
to um, be able to receive more and handle more. You know,
Hmm.
I wrote a quote that said, uh, when you work hard on what only has a capacity to make $2, you could work much harder, but you still only make $2.
Right.
And so when you're going through and you have that training, it helps build your capacity to be able to
Yes.
handle more, be able to
Hmm.
go through more, and be able to get to a place where you're actually being productive when it
Right.
comes to productive and profitable.
Hmm.
Did that make
Right.
sense?
That makes lots of sense.
So what do you think about when it comes to the importance of taking workshops and training?
That's a must. It's a
Okay.
must.
So what do
We
you mean by a must?
you've got to invest in yourself, even if it was more than $25. It's not the money that we're focusing on, it's what we're going to gain. It's the wisdom that we're going to gain. Because I'm sure Pastor Pyle does things and it doesn't cost $25.
Mhm.
You know, he may give his wisdom to somebody and it's a different charge. They're not thinking about that charge or that money that's being, that they're giving. They know that he's a wealth of wisdom,
Mhm.
and that wisdom costs much more than what they're giving out. It's going to change their lives. And
Yeah,
so that's what I'm in expectation that he's going to say something that I can apply instantaneously so that I can move my business forward.
yeah, yeah. Because and when you say that, I know you were tiptoeing around that or kind of through that. And when it comes to, um, you know, he may charge a different thing. And I believe what you were applying was that, the knowledge that he has is worth thousands.
Yes.
Yeah, and, I, I believe in sowing, and I haven't sent him my seed yet, but I gotta text him and ask him what his cash app is, because just being around him today and what I received from him, just crumbs that's falling off the table or nuggets. I won't call them even crumbs, but
Right.
just the nuggets that was falling, just through conversation. I'm like, I cannot leave there and not sow a seed, from what
Mhm.
I've received. And part of it, we were talking about the whole purpose was, being clear on what the expectation was for him at the workshop and what we were covering and looking at the agenda and, trying to make sure we're on the same page. But it was a wealth of things that was shared that had nothing to do with that, but just
Right.
powerful nuggets. You
Mhm.
understand what I mean?
Mhm.
And I assure you, the seed that I'm getting ready to send them is more than $25. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you know what I'm saying? And you know, not I'm trying to keep from saying it, but I'm just saying,
Right.
you're right. You can't look at the money part, but when it comes to, investing in yourself, Apostle Hilliard says that where there is no investment, there is no appreciation. So a lot of times people want things for free. And I have a tendency, I believe, of crippling people because I give them things for free. But where there is no investment, there is no appreciation. And so, understanding how important that is, getting a mindset that I'm willing. David said in the scripture somewhere, he said when he went to the threshing floor and he was looking for a place, and they came to him and said, you can have this place for free. I ain't gonna charge you nothing. And David said, listen, I'm not gonna worship God for nothing.
Right.
I mean, you ain't gonna just And I think as an entrepreneur, even as a believer, as a person, one of the things I heard Pastor Powell say this morning is that the world take the principles of the Bible and they're using them diligently, and they're prospering from it, where oftentimes those of us who say that we're believers, then we struggle with it. And investing in yourself is a very important principle because, I think he said something about, he would rather have a seed than to have the fruit or something like that. Because with the seed, you can plant it and you can multiply it. You know what I mean? But somebody just giving you a finished product and you consume it and then you ain't got nothing left. Does that make sense?
That makes lots of sense. I was just thinking, I started a garden in my kitchen, indoor garden with mints and green onions and stuff like that. And it's a cycle. I never run out because I got the original seed. You just put that thing back in there and you got more. You keep putting it in there, you just have more. So that's definitely true.
So what, you had a wheelbarrow of dirt on your kitchen floor and you got rows made up?
No, you just do it in little pots.
All right, I'll just best with you. All right, listen, we're almost out of time, but we're talking about the value of training in the Entrepreneur 101 workshop this Saturday, 9 to 3 at Jericho Church Without Walls, 886 76th Street. Is actually our Community Development Corporation who's sponsoring it, Beyond the Walls. And it's $25. You get lunch and a workbook. And we have our facilitator, our guest speaker is Pastor Robert Piles. And he's a businessman, a real estate mogul. He's a pastor, a father. I mean, he's definitely a great friend. He has been a great friend for to me. And you want to be here for this training. If you have a business or you're thinking about starting a business, and or we talk about 101. We're talking about, like we go to college, we talk about training. We're talking about some foundational principles that you can learn and apply to grow your business. And I know that he's not going to waste your time. He's not going to waste your time. And so when you talk about training and productivity, Mr. Brumfield, how do you think, what is your thoughts about how training can impact your ability to be productive?
Well, the plan, if you go into a business and you don't have a plan, you don't have a business plan, you just got this thought and you're just going to run and get started, that's not going to be productive. You're not going to be productive because you have nowhere that you're going. You don't have any roadmap. But when you get training, they're going to lay out information so that you can put this plan together. I'm not sure what's all incorporated in the workshop on Saturday, but I'm sure there's going to be some component of a plan. Where are you going with this business? How will you even make money? how do you know if you've hit your goals, setting goals and things like that. So when you come to workshops like this, you get that information to make a plan for yourself so that you have a roadmap to where you're trying to go.
Okay. And so tell us, I know you shared some of it early on, but tell us, with that being said, the way you just articulated that, what are some of your expectations for you and your husband as you come to this Entrepreneur 101 workshop on Saturday, February 3rd at Jericho Church Without Walls, 8086 North 76th Street, 9 to 3. And what are some of your expectations?
Well, I'm looking for some wisdom. I've had clear thinking for several years now. And so I'm looking for that next step. I have the structure, I have the business plan, I have all of that. But what's next after that? How do you grow it? How do I expand it? So I'm looking for things like that when it
Okay.
comes to financially expansion or um, income. How do I increase clientele? Marketing strategies, things like that.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I believe that it's going to be one of the greatest investments that you've made in your life. And those of you who are there, I'm looking forward to come. Minister Pfeiffer said, I am unable to make it Saturday. Will it be beneficial to purchase the workbook, or is it, um, a follow along, fill in the blank type of thing? Well, because part of the workshop we're going to be talking about how to create a business plan. Your business plan is your roadmap. That's your vision. For what it is that you're trying to do, and in that you have to have parameters in there so that you can know what things you shouldn't be doing. And
Right.
so that will be part of it. And there is some workshop type of, fill in the, not necessarily fill in the blanks, as much as some things that some exercises. Is that what you call them?
Mm-hmm.
During the workshop. And so I'm not sure, we may think about making those workbooks available. We may have to take them and create the same workbook, but different style, putting in some of those fill in the blank kind of things so that it's all inclusive, if that makes sense to you. But we have to look at that. Right now, I can't say yes, but that sounds like a good idea, based on there's probably others that may not be able to make it. I really think that, this is, and Pastor Powell kind of confirmed it for me when he said it. I was thinking it, that this is great timing to have this workshop. And we're going to have 2 workshops this month. On the 4th Saturday, we're going to have another entrepreneur workshop. And then every 4th Saturday for 6 months, we're going to have an entrepreneur workshop. But what we're trying to do is build on this one. So it won't be the same workshop. But we may have Pastor Powell come back for some different portions. And we have a special guest that's going to be there. And I'm really excited about that part as well. And his name is Coach Darwin, and he's a financial strategist, and he has this book. Incredible. It is about credit. It's about understanding money, and how to incorporate that, because like you say, you want it to be profitable. Well, there are some things that you have to understand about money and how to use money to be profitable. You know what I'm saying? One of the things he talked about, and I don't want to go into it, but he talked about how, a lot of times you get money to do to expand your business, but you get the money first, but you don't know what you get ready to do with it. And a lot of times you can waste it, or you get money that is due right away to start making a payment. So let's say you go get a loan, and the loan next month you got to make your first payment, but what you got the money for, you haven't built whatever you're trying to build with it, and it's not bringing your money back. You understand what I'm saying? So you get, let's say you get $50,000 to expand your, thank you, Lady B, Unlocking Your Credit Power by Darwin Moore. He's going to be with us, and Unlocking Your Credit Power by Darwin Moore. And he talked about, like, you get $50,000 that you're going to use it to expand your business.
Right.
However, the note for that $50,000 is due. You got to start paying it back that next month.
Mm-hmm.
But what you got the $50,000 for has not started bringing you money yet.
Yes.
So now you trying to build and you're trying to pay that back, and you haven't started profiting yet. You know what I'm saying? But there's a different way to get the $50,000 that you don't have to pay it back that first month. You pay it back as you use it.
Okay, yeah. Let's learn about that.
Yeah. Now, if y'all hit my cash out right quick, I'll tell you what the answer is. Yeah, but he's gonna be talking about some of those things. And I see Dr. Bonds chimed in. Where her comment at? I think she said that was good.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm telling you, it's nothing like investing in yourself, and you are a witness to investing in your. Oh, she put the cash outside. I was just kidding, y'all. I was just kidding. I don't want to bootleg. Coach Darwin. I don't want to bootleg. Right. I'm gonna let him take you to a place, because he does. I'm gonna let him tell it. But when he told me about what he does, I mean, he goes to all of the banks and he finds out what banks that hit your credit 3 times, investigating you. What banks would give you money at, say your credit score is only 600. You know what I mean? Different things like that. Because a lot of times you shop around for money and you get dings on your credit because you don't know which ones to go to. He talks about how to take advantage of the 0%. And that's going to be Saturday, February 3rd at Jericho Church Without Walls, our Entrepreneur 101, transforming your passion into profit. And I'm telling you, with Pastor Robert Powell and with Coach Darwin, I'm telling you, and she's putting it right up there on the screen there, to transform your profit, February 3rd, 9 to 3, 886 North 76th Street. And it's $25, and like I said, that's a small investment in yourself, and for workbook and lunch. And so you can go to dradburns.com/event and register. And you can also register at the door. But I need you to understand the power of investing in yourself. If you walked away with one thing that changed your landscape of your business and caused you to position yourself for profitability, did I say that word right?
Yes.
It's worth it. It's worth it. You know what I mean? And I know you're going to receive more than that. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Do I sound like I'm excited?
You sound excited. Yes, you do.
Do I sound like I'm faking it?
Faking it. Oh, you're excited about this. That information you got today just took it up a notch. So.
Oh man, I'm telling you. So listen, you want to be a part. I got one other thing I want you to comment on, and then we're going to close out.
Okay.
When we talk about the importance of training, when we talk about the importance of investing in yourself, you've already said that when it comes to investing in yourself, you don't look at what it costs. You look at what you're going to receive as a result of it. And then it's a matter of what you do with it that brings back I think they call it ROI,
yes.
The return on your investments. Yes. When we talk about training, the importance of training, do you see training as a way to boost your ability to engage in whatever your business or that you're trying to do or that you're doing, I should say? Do you think that training? How do you see training as a way to boost your ability to engage or take your business to the next level?
Well, I look for different things that I may be lacking or may increase my knowledge of what I'm trying to do. So when I take different trainings, I'm looking for that specific thing, like, alcohol and drug abuse training that's prevalent in our community. So if I have that knowledge of how to detect when somebody is under the influence, when I have the ability to understand what things I need to say to them, because you can't say anything because you're gonna make that situation escalate. So learning how to de-escalate situations, those are crucial in what I do. And not only what I do, but if I'm in a situation in a grocery store or I'm in a setting where something is set off, I have the knowledge, I have the training where I can jump in and I can help that situation no matter where I am, because I took the training, because I took the classes in order to enhance what I'm doing.
Okay. And so in that same way, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, there's some 101 principles that you need to understand so that you're able to engage in that same fashion in the world that you live in. For
Yeah.
you, it's in counseling. For somebody else, it may be in construction, or somebody else, it may be in teaching, or somebody else, it might be in t-shirts, or whatever your business is. Being able to take those 101 principles and apply them to your business and go, I like to even say, go from passion to profit.
Okay.
Training is so important. So
Mhm.
listen, that's all the time we had. I just wanted to come on and chop it up a little bit because, like I said, we met today. We were going over some things, and I just left fired up. It's always good when you on track,
Yeah.
and it's even better when you have the right people to get done what you're trying to get done.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
our goal is to empower businesses, because I know in our church we have several business owners, and I want them to be a place of profitability. I want them, we need a new roof on the building, it's $54,000. I want them to be able to say, Pastor, I got that,
Right.
and it won't even hurt them. You know what I mean? No stress, no strain, no struggle, And a lot of times when we talk about money and things, people get turned off. And it's like, well, how do you think the lights get paid? Or how do you think, things get done? You know what I mean? But
Right.
having a group of people that we can empower, and we're not just trying to empower Jericho, that's why we open it up to everyone,
Mhm.
and at $25, we ain't making no money.
Right.
So it ain't like you helping us pay no bills with 25. That probably just barely covered the lunch, and
Mhm.
the workbook. But the thing that I'm saying here more than anything is that some of you, your family is dependent on you. Some of you, your grandchildren, you know, some of you have a lot of, you have other things that's, you know, depending on you being successful.
Yes.
And so being a part of this Entrepreneur 101, transforming your passion into profit, February 3rd, 2024, at 9 to 3 at 8086 North 76th Street here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So be sure to go register today, $25. Register today at Dr. A.D. Burns. That's ADBURNS.com/events. Register today. Make sure you get your seat. And I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Amen. Ms. Rufford, got any closing comments?
Um, I want to see you in the place. I'm excited. I can't wait. If you don't have a business plan, Pastor already said that's one of the things that will be taking place. You can get that skeleton for your business plan, and then you can put the meat on the bones, and you'll be set to go. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Saturday for the entrepreneurship workshop.
Amen, amen. And listen, even if you ain't started your business yet, you can come and get those nuggets from Coach Darwin.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, amen. So I hear some money coming. Wait a minute, hold up. All right, but listen, thank you all for tuning in. Listen, I look forward to seeing you at the Entrepreneur 101 workshop this Saturday, February 3rd, transforming your passion into profit, 9 to 3, 8086 North 76th Street here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And make sure you go to our website and register, dradburns.com/events. That's dradburns.com/events. God bless you. Hope to see you. Be blessed. Peace.